Okay, this is our last section. So, the ethics of using control groups in treatment efficacy research. The inclusion of an untreated control group. This is important for treatment efficacy research. Withholding a treatment might be controversial. So I can think of an example. They did a study, years ago on diet, and they looked at, say, the American diet, not the American diet, like the Atkins diet versus the Mediterranean diet versus something else. And, partially through the study, they just saw that the Mediterranean diet was so much more beneficial to the population that they were looking at than the Atkins diet. And it became like unethical for them to continue the diet on, to still have people eating, only protein or meat and not following the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts and the olive oil of the Mediterranean diet. So they had to stop the study because it wasn't fair to the people not in the group of the Mediterranean diet. They were suffering. So that's sort of an example of when it could be inappropriate or wrong to withhold the treatment. Like, let's say there's a cancer drug and it's just proving to be so effective compared to the control group not receiving the drug. At some point, you would want to stop the study and make sure that everybody got the drug. Levels of evidence. From the perspective of evidence-based practice, some forms of evidence are more valuable than others. Levels of evidence refers to a scaling system used to rate the strength or the credibility of research findings for the purpose of assessing treatment efficacy. Factors for the rating include the quality and credibility of the studies in question that address clinical questions, including the adequacy of controls, reduction of research or bias, the size of the effect, the relevance of the study, the statistical significance of the results, and whether the study was clinically feasible or relevant. So this is a little bit, you have to think, it's like the opposite of the phases of treatment, where with the levels of evidence, the lowest level, the weakest level is the level 6. And that's expert opinion of respected authorities. That really doesn't stand for anything. You can't just go by someone's expert opinion. Number 5 is a weak study, a weak level of evidence. Uncontrolled, non-interventional studies, including case reports. Level 4, we have limited, controlled, again, non-interventional descriptive studies, including correlational and case studies. 3 is a moderate level. We have entered the well-designed, randomized, or non-randomized, that's why it's level 3, quasi-experimental study. Level 2 is stronger, well-designed, randomized, controlled study. Get it? So level 2, well-designed, randomized, controlled. And level 1 is the strongest level. Systematic reviews, well-designed meta-analysis. So looking at several randomized, controlled clinical studies. The evidence portfolio, gathering of evidence to be evaluated for quality before possible application. So, like I said, expert opinion is the weakest. Systematic reviews, meta-analysis of randomized controlled studies would be the strongest. You look at everything, you put it together, and then there you have your evidence portfolio. Framing the question. In evidence-based practice, scientific evidence will be of little assistance to the clinician if they are unsure about the question that they want answered. It's not the literature that prompts a practical clinical decision, but the needs of the client. So what are the needs of your client? What questions do you need asked? Know what you're looking for, and then find your evidence. Evidence-based practice in communication employs the following 7-step procedure: asking for a well-built question, selecting evidence sources, implementing a search strategy, appraising and synthesizing the evidence, applying the evidence, evaluating the application of the evidence, and disseminating the findings. Disseminating the findings means publishing it.